want to watch Mean Girls.
Hello and welcome to Cracking the Vault, the podcast where we are going through every Walt Disney Pictures release in order. My name is Xander.
I am Jacob.
I am Trevor.
Full government name? I'm Rachel.
Dead names are so...
Dead name?
Hey guys, how are you feeling?
It's like we were just here.
It's weird because...
I know, right?
Like 80 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's we have to like reestablish the mindset and the vibe.
Hey, if you're listening to this, go follow our Patreon.
Yeah, we have some extra content on there for you guys.
Yeah, we're doing it.
I promise your money's worth it.
I'm not gonna make that promise, but like
we're also on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
What else do we have?
I don't know. Life stuff. I mean, like, everything's getting busier. It's the summer.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in rehearsals for a musical right now. 4 days a week. That sucks. It doesn't suck. I'm just tired.
You like it. It's just tiring. Yeah, no. Where we work is a seasonal place, and now the season's going back into summer. So it's getting a lot busier. Oh, you having a good job and stuff like that.
You're doing great. You're getting the swing shifts. You're like...
You can see that on our TikTok.
Yeah, if you go get our TikTok and stuff. Which all that stuff's also down below.
I think I also put it on Instagram. That video.
Slay.
Follow us everywhere because we're important and should influence all of your life.
Yep.
And I'm going to make that statement.
And we want to hear from more of you.
We do. We want to hear from all of you. We want to hear...
Feedback would be nice.
Feedback would be nice. We just kind of post these and...
hopefully nothing's wrong.
8 months ago was our last time someone commented.
It's crazy.
And I don't know when this is coming out. But...
I don't know. If I've said some stupid shit, I do want to know.
Oh yeah, if we make a mistake, I would love to know my mistake.
Yeah, literally.
Or if you have any additional fun facts about the movies that we cover.
Yeah, absolutely. We are working with the most limited amount of information possible because all of Disney history is kept under lock and key at the Disney archives. So like I don't know, the information we have is mainly secondhand. It's mainly, we're learning from dubious sources. So like
you can be one of those dubious sources.
Do you want to be a dubious source?
I want to be a dubious source. Be our dubious. For our
be our deep throat.
What?
Has anything like Disney-wise happened in the since the last time we recorded? Are they doing anything? Did they have like a fucking quarterly meeting or whatever?
They released the dates for this year's Mickey's Not So Scary and Oogie Boogie Bash.
You're right, and they also showed some of the costumes that they were going to do.
I think
that is some Disney news.
Just counts under the umbrella. Star Wars celebrations happening in like Japan this year.
I mean, that is part of the
that
umbrella.
is Disney news.
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp's crazy, man.
So I don't know. This came out. We're in 1955 right now. The year Disneyland's opening. I feel like we're getting to the point where Walt Disney is kind of on top of the world. He's like, okay, like animated shorts, those don't exist anymore, so that's fine. Like, he doesn't have to worry about that. But like, he has a TV show. He's a presence on that, and his park is finally opening. And yeah, it's rough at first, but it's like, it's going to become a solid seasonal attraction, or like a local oddity.
Can you imagine a world where Disneyland failed?
I can't, but at the same time, I want to be there.
It'd be kind of crazy.
Like, I want to know.
Would we be better off?
We wouldn't be doing this.
That's
so.
True.
I mean, as far as this movie goes, I mean, Rach, you brought it up as we were watching it, but like the idea for it exists around late 30s. There's an animator who, like, the Lady and Tramp are weirdly kind of both conceived in a vacuum. Lady is conceived in the early 30s or late 30s, and it's just like an animator who's like, I had a dog, and then I had a kid.
And then I paid less attention to the dog because I had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And, Walt, assumedly, it was like, that sounds boring as shit. And then didn't make it. And then, like, at some point, Tramp is conceptualized. And then the interesting thing is there is a...
But that's the reason that Tramp was conceptualized, is because Walt Disney said that Lady's story alone wasn't interesting enough.
Right. Eventually, a story called Happy Dan the Whistling Dog is published in Cosmopolitan. I don't know if... Is that before or after? Do they, like, conceive of Tramp because of that? Or do they release that because they conceive of Tramp? I think it's the former. And then they... Wait.
What's it called?
It's called Happy Dan the Whistling Dog.
So what came first, Dan or Tramp? That's the...
Dan. What a name.
Happy Dan the Cynical Dog.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Cynical
Wow, that's
Dog.
a way different
Published
feeling.
in 1945. And that was why Walt Disney added Tramp.
Okay.
Because he thought that it would be more interesting if...
Oh, because we were saying this movie was conceptualized in the 30s.
Mhm.
So they had the dog, and they're like, yeah, this dog's living her life. And they're like, how do we make this interesting? And then I guess this came out, and Walt was like, that's how we make it interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so I understand. So, yeah, those two pieces are put together, and then they bring that author back to do a novelization of Lady and the Tramp. That debuts 2 years before Lady and the Tramp comes out, because animation takes forever.
Yeah.
And, like...
Walt Disney wanted people to be familiar with the story.
Understood. Give him 2 years to, like, marinate in it, and then make a movie, post a movie about it.
Say what you will about
Post.
Walt Disney.
Put
He
it
was
on the
a
wall.
hell of a businessman in terms of, like...
You know what he's doing.
It is scary the way he managed to, like, master the art of branding.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, they're not gonna have a preconceived notion that, like, drives them into the theater. We'll put it out there.
We'll give them one.
Yeah, well, it's like, we'll wait to post the movie.
And then after a couple years, they'll
Post
feel like
the
it
movie.
was they'll feel like it was always there, and they'll...
We're all just brainwashed by Walt. And
That's
making us-
okay.
That's okay.
We also have the film's opening sequence, in which Darling unwraps a hat box on Christmas morning and finds Lady inside, is inspired by an incident when Walt Disney presented his wife Lily with a chow puppy as a gift in a hat box to make up for having previously forgotten a dinner date with her.
Aw, that is so cute. Bruh,
She got
I
an-
want someone to forget a date with me and then give me a
I
dog.
think it should be noted, from what I am aware, that story was... He started telling that story after he fell out with Joe Grant, who originally came up with the idea, who was like, I think went on strike.
Oh.
Mm.
I don't have words for that.
Yeah.
I could be totally talking out of my ass there.
It's like-
I don't know. Walt had a tendency to revise history in a way that, you know, in a way that always sounded good. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it, yeah, he was totally just like on a dirty park bench, and then he just fully saw Disneyland.
He totally just the stories this man is telling everyone. He's just like, yeah, I was just sitting there, and then like the entire idea of Disneyland and what it's gonna be just popped into my head crazily. Like, no one else helped me. I did that. I just thought about it.
It's always like I presented my wife the box with that like lady, or it's like, oh well, I was on a train station away from, you know, after Oswald was taking me, I saw a mouse, and that was Mickey.
So Walt,
And I definitely didn't just kind of change the design of Oswald.
so Walt just totally like takes the hardest drugs and then
No,
like
absolutely not.
that's what it sounds like. It sounds like he just like did some acid, sat on a park bench, and was like, Disneyland. I see it.
I mean, ultimately, he's just, I don't know. He knows that stories last, and he knew the stories to tell that would sound better than the actual history, which is usually, I don't know, either less savory or more bureaucratic.
Mixture of both.
When's the first time everyone watched this?
Oh,
I couldn't tell you.
That is an excellent question.
Or like, what is everyone's just past experience with Lady and the Tramp?
I remember watching this with my sister at my mom's house. I don't remember the reason why. I don't know if it was because we chose it or if because my grandpa chose it or like someone else chose it. But I remember I was specifically when we lived at my grandpa's house and we were in the living room. And that's the one memory I get from watching this movie, like the first one I can think of. And I don't know if that was my first time watching it. I just know I was there. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it when I was younger. I enjoyed it now. Period.
I don't know when the first time I saw this was. I just know that
What's
I've
your earliest
seen
memory of it?
I couldn't even tell you. It's just always. I feel like it's so just since I was born.
It's just
Like,
always been there.
I
Did
can't
you
tell
see
you.
it often?
I would have said yes, but I can't like tell you a time I watched
For
it.
sure.
But I know I like have watched it many times, and I don't know. It's weird.
Rach?
It was probably one of the movies that we owned on VHS when I was little, but I don't know. I didn't really remember a lot about it. Like, I've definitely seen it at some point, but
Xander?
So once upon a time, there was a website called YouTube, and DMCA was not in effect. And I definitely saw this for the first time on YouTube. I saw Peter Pan for the first time on YouTube, and I saw 101 Dalmatians for the first time on YouTube. I
What?
specifically remember those.
Did you, like, as a kid, know you were looking for Lady and the Tramp on YouTube, or did you just happen to see Disney next to Lady and the Tramp and were like, I'm gonna watch that?
I think more the former.
Okay.
I was a Disney completionist from a very young age. So the hyperfixation was strong early with me. Like, so yeah, I mean, I just, as a kid, I was always like, I need to see all of the Disney animated ones. So yeah, I was trying to fill in my gaps. This is like my grandmother's favorite movie of all time.
That makes sense for your grandma. What?
I don't know your grandma.
No.
It's fair.
I do. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like she would really enjoy this movie.
It's just
She does.
You know, it makes sense. It's a simple vibe, and
I like it. It's a good 80-minute story that still has like an entire story. The only thing I like that's weird to me is really the ending, but that's it.
the ending in terms of just like
It's very fast at the end. Someone
Yeah.
almost dies, and then all of a sudden they're like, "It's fine. Oh, he's fine, and we live happily ever after."
puppies and
Yeah, it is.
Puppies.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
end for
real
me. But other than
conversion.
that, honestly, like the rest of the movie, I feel like is for 80 minutes. You're getting it. You got the meeting the new characters, and then you got the like conflict between these characters.
Yeah. I think it's very well told. It's like very we are still in that era of Disney for me. Actually, this is the last time in like the 50s for Disney animation where I feel like it's specifically that very, you know, I would call it like handsomely produced, you know? Like it's not super stylistic one way or another necessarily, but
Yeah.
it is clean. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then Sleeping Beauty is just on a whole other level animation wise, but we'll get there.
Yeah. When is Sleeping Beauty?
Sleeping Beauty is 1959.
Okay, we're in the 55s, so we're almost there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. When is the end of season 2? I forgot.
When is the end of season 2? I think it's with Third Man on the Mountain at the end of the.
I know what that is.
It's the film that
Is it about a guy on a mountain?
it's about a guy on the Matterhorn.
Are we end
Like,
with the Matterhorn
the
movie?
Matterhorn? Hell yeah.
Jake, do you have any water notes?
Boy, do I.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. The first one. Like opening shot, the snowiness. There was a body of water, some lake or some shit. 5 out of 10. When we first meet Tramp, there's water. 6 out of 10. The water with the actual pigeons on it, not pigeons.
Pigeons, not pidge.
Bitch.
Bitch.
That one was a 4 to 10. It was just a fucking fountain.
Come on, bitch.
Then we have when the flower vase spilt when Lady got in trouble. 5 out of 10. The fishbowl water when the Siamese guts and Lady got in trouble. 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. When they go to the zoo, there's some water there. 4 out of 10 for all the zoo water. The beaver's water. 5 out of 10. And then the Belanote water for that entire sequence. Any water in there? 7 out of 10. Final. 6 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10?
5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, the water is not particularly remarkable in this one.
No. It looked pretty good most of the time. So.
It's about meh water, I would say, out of 5 out of 10.
I'm so excited to get to like Nemo and like Moana.
I just want to see
things that are like just in the
how
water.
How long are the notes going to be?
Here's the thing: we've had the conversation of like, because Jake said he had a plan, and I have recording proof that Jake says he has a plan. So I don't know. Do you have a plan, or did you just say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even like Little Mermaid is gonna be so much fucking.
Yeah, but I was like,
Then I get to talk about Alan Menken.
don't whisper that.
We just watched the fucking Howard Ashman documentary that's on Disney Plus. Howard Ashman was Alan Menken's original like lyricist writing partner.
Oh.
He was the main creative force between the two of them, and then he died of AIDS.
Damn.
I know.
Sorry, buddy.
Really good. There's a reason that like Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast have like the best songs out of the Renaissance.
And Aladdin.
Is that on Disney Plus? I kind of want to watch that.
It's on Disney Plus, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
It's just called Howard.
Howard.
Howard. What the fuck was?
Did you write it down, Xander? 5 out of 10.
Yes, I did.
He did.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I was just making sure. You put the doubt in me.
You're welcome.
So I had to
did.
I was making sure. It took a long for a yes, so me and Jake looked at each other like, no.
So, I mean, let's.
Say it. You haven't said it in a while.
Let's just jump into
There you
it.
are.
So it starts on Christmas.
And she gets a puppy.
Oh, darling, and Jim dear.
I think everyone says this, but like, would you? That's like, it's not a good idea to just like keep a dog in a box, right?
I mean, at least like poke holes in it. No.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Depends
like to think,
how long the dog's been in there.
Like, I would like to think the idea was that the dog was running around in some back room, and then right before he gave it to her, he was
He,
like,
like,
okay, in the box.
Went to a back room, was like, oh, there was another present.
Yeah,
Wow.
I feel like that'd be. I
When-
don't think he just wrapped it the night before.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think he just
It would be
left
so
the
fucked
dog
up.
in the box.
Oh, I know something else I just kind of want to talk about regarding the background. So, like, this takes place in, like, 1910s Connecticut, It's very Main Street. It's very the thing Walt is, like, obsessed with his entire life. This, like, period of living at Marceline, where he, even though he was only there for, like, a few years at the most. Like, it wasn't his childhood. It wasn't like he was living in a small town. Anyway, I remember, like, seeing the documentary when I finally got a DVD for this. And all of them are around this time. Like, the animated documentaries are always, like, trying to tie it back to Walt in some way. And trying to... Each animated movie has to be part of, like, the grand narrative of Walt. And it's usually pretty hard for them around this time because Walt does not give a shit about animation. At this point, he's like given up, which
so
really
funny to think about.
Really didn't hit home to me as a kid because the ones I had on DVD were like, Fantasia and Bambi and like Sleeping Beauty, where he is very, very interested in how it's turning out, or Jungle Book, where he's kind of like coming back around to it. This one was always like, they tie it back to like the mythology of Marceline, how he's just always trying to capture that Americana. I don't know.
You opened your mouth like you were about to say something, Jacob.
I
You
really
forgot whatever I had to say.
You sounded like you were about to say.
I
a
did
very
have a
important-
comment, but
It's just gone.
it left.
That is
Jonah.
very interesting. He's like trying to make this world that he envisions, I guess. Which I mean, like, I guess go with your art, do what you need. But like, it is
I can't
very.
believe you just said "fucking good for you, bro" to Walt Disney.
Yeah, no, do what you need, bud. Like, it worked out, but
He's the ultimate, like, he's the embodiment of just like, I want everything to be like it was when I was 10.
Same.
that's.
So we have Jim Deere and Darling. They are only referred to as Jim Deere and Darling throughout the movie. We
I think
rarely
that's
see
adorable.
their faces. It's great. I think it's
Is his
Excellent.
name like Jim Deere, or is it
No,
like
his
Jim,
name-
comma Deere, and that's
that.
just what
Jim,
they
comma,
call him?
Deere.
Yeah.
That.
oh Jim
Okay.
Deere.
Yeah, Jim Deere.
His
and
name is
Darling.
Jim, and she's calling him Deer.
It's just it's always like it's his name. It shows up as like Jim Deere.
Well, that's what Lady thinks it is.
My Jim Deere tractor.
John Deere.
No, Jim Deere. I think Jim Deere's a better brand. I
My
think
Jim Deere tractor.
It's like the off-brand of John Deere. Just Jim Deere.
But no,
Jim
that's
Deere whiskey.
Jim Deere whiskey.
Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Jim Deere tractor whiskey.
Jim Deere tractor
Don't
whiskey.
drink the truck
Jim
whiskey.
Jim Deere Beam Good Tractor Whiskey.
I think we're just now saying any words we can.
This feels like it's gonna go on the Patreon.
It's gonna go on the Patreon. No, it isn't. I kept it here because I thought it was funny. But you should go follow the Patreon because there is cut content from this episode right there right now. Anyways, continue. I just wanted to say that editing Trevor out.
I don't know. They try to train the dog to not sleep in a bed with them, and then the
That
dog
lady
sleeps in a
really
bed with
wants to
them.
sleep in
And it
bed.
so doesn't work, and she's the cutest little baby ever.
Oh,
And he's
Jesus.
like, fine, just this one time, and then it flashes to like however
Grown up.
A
many
couple of
years
years later,
later,
still sleeping
she
in the bed.
wakes up in the bed.
Yep.
They have this entire routine they do, which I think is really cute for like the dog to be like part of this routine. And then he's like,
Yeah.
"Yes, I'm getting up for work and everything." Oh, it's fucking Sunday. But dog
don't know that.
Lady doesn't know that. Lady just knows like when I get up, I give you your shoes and wake you up. That is my goal. That is my
That's job.
that is my job. This is how I help.
Lady is maybe the most adorable
Oh
animated
my
dog.
god, I love her so much. She's so cute.
Again, I was talking about this, which makes sense. They're doing the studying dog thing like they did with Bambi and all that. It's just so weird how like dog-like they
Yeah.
are. Like these people
It's
did their research.
Very, very well done.
They had very
Disney
good-
has the power of production values on its side more than anything.
I wish
Like
we had
that.
that power.
Yeah, well,
Honestly, subscribe to our Patreon so that we can bring you guys better.
God, they
production
just
value.
keep talking about it. Why do they keep talking
Yeah.
about it? Like we already know. We know. We've listened to. Oh, shit! Is this? Oh, nothing. Listen to the episode. What?
So then we're
We
in
meet-
the future.
We meet some
and-
doggies, dog
yeah,
friends.
the little
We
Scottish
meet-
Terrier.
there's Jock and
Jock.
Trusty.
Jock and Trusty. These guys are my favorite just side characters.
Well, Jock is Scottish, you see.
Is he? Couldn't tell.
I can't do a Scottish
You
impression, but I do that.
definitely didn't say lassie every other word.
Lassie.
In a boot.
A
Yeah,
boot.
There was a lot
yeah, there's a lot of a boot.
and a lot of unnecessary R rolls.
Yeah.
There's.
I'm Scottish.
That's pretty much what it was. Trusty reminded me of a coworker, but I won't get into that.
Yeah.
Someone who sniffs? No kidding.
I won't get into it. I said I won't get into it.
But yeah, it was really funny that Trusty reminded me of that same coworker.
Yeah, it was just.
It's funny.
They were good comic relief characters this entire movie. I liked them.
Yeah.
I liked their stories. I think it was funny how they were just. It kind of seemed like they were just kind of plugged into the movie because they needed more.
And then
I mean,
this
yeah.
lady meets the rat for the first time.
And
Oh,
she
yeah.
Goes
Is it
for
the same
kill.
rat?
I think it's just that is the main villain of this movie, of
It
course.
is rat.
And Aunt Sarah.
Well,
and Sarah and Rat.
Aunt Sarah is just our collective villain. She is the embodiment of a Karen.
Yeah.
Do we count Cy and Am as the villains? We have to acknowledge them.
We do have to
we count them as
acknowledge
racist.
Cyan.
That's what we count
But
them.
yet,
We-
you
they're
know
not.
what?
They're not a
Valid.
villain. They're a racist.
They're,
That's what they
they're,
are.
they're Disney being the villain.
Disney is the real villain. Disney is the real villain.
Yeah, we meet these two dog friends, and then they're talking, and then Mr. Old Tramp, right? That's next. Tramp comes in next.
Yeah, I mean, like, lady gets a collar, and
Oh, that
Oh,
happens
yeah.
first. Yes,
And
a
she
license.
does that whole thing on the porch.
She gets a
with
license.
with the treat on her nose.
Yeah, there's the entire.
Yeah.
You see the entire like. This is how life goes for
This
lady.
is the
like,
daily routine.
the daily routine of everything we're doing daily.
Yeah.
A daily routine,
And-
Trevor.
And then
Um,
and then we jump over and see Tramp.
on the other side of the tracks.
He is on the tracks.
genuinely
Yeah.
on the tracks. Yeah.
We watch some bitches get arrested.
Yeah, we do.
This movie is ultimately like, it is a 50s romantic comedy, like, you
But
know,
if they were
with
dogs.
like, yeah, exactly.
But
Like with
But if they were
with the
dogs.
same like kind of, I guess, like class tensions and like, you know,
Yeah,
period setting, and their dogs.
and their dogs.
that's a very important part of this movie is
Oh,
their
and
dogs.
the bit where Tramp fucking whistles like a person. Or wait, is that later?
That's
further.
coming up.
I think that's later.
Is it?
He does that to.
Yeah, I just remember it being to a security officer. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah,
They do it
yeah,
before
yeah,
the
that's
zoo.
later.
It's right before the zoo sequence.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that one's a little bit further in. I don't know. After this one,
No, we meet Tramp.
we see his trampy ways going through like, where do I want to eat?
Yeah, he's just like being a stray dog.
He's like, why have one family when everyone's my family?
Comrade.
What else have?
Did
What,
you
And
just say
then-
comrade?
Yeah.
he is also a communist. We have to remember that
We've
part.
established this.
Oh, sorry.
He
Forgot
is
to
a fellow
mention that
traveler.
part.
Forgot to mention Tramp's a communist. I don't know. I can't remember what happens after this.
Is this when we see Lady all mopey?
I mean, you know, he stops by the Italian restaurant for the first time.
Tony.
That was the
Jeez.
first time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he gets the bone for the first time. Like,
Oh, sorry. I forgot that there was, a 9-month time jump.
yeah. Yeah, but then we get the going into Ladies on Mopey because
The baby.
she's like,
Because
I did something wrong.
Something's happening.
I was called that dog, and they were mean to me. And the other two,
And they're like, don't worry about it.
they're like,
It's
a
fine.
It's
and
a
then Tramp.
When a mommy and a daddy love each other very much.
Storks.
Yes, storks, birds, and bees.
Oh, I was just thinking of sex, but that works too. No, we get that entire
And then
bit.
Tramp's like, babies? Gross.
The baby's gonna
Family?
fuck
Families,
Disgusting.
they'll fucking hate you. Your life, gone.
Yeah, you're gonna.
So how about you, like, ditch them? They're like, yo, shut up. He doesn't know nothing.
What a different type of riz. Just very like, everyone in your life's gonna hate you now.
Coming
Come
up
with
out of
me. Yeah.
nowhere, being like, oh, I heard that, oh yeah, your life is gonna fucking suck, man.
Yeah, he just walked by this conversation.
Yeah.
He wasn't in this conversation. He walked by this conversation. He's like, "Oh, you're fucked. you're totally fucked.
You're fucked.
You're fucked."
Big dick energy, honestly.
Yeah. And then fucking Aunt Sarah, baby happens.
She was
like,
right, Sarah.
immediately.
Yeah, there's the
song.
baby montage.
Baby- no,
and-
Oh
Like,
yeah,
after
where she
baby.
meets and then she meets the little one for the first time.
Mhm.
Weirdest song in a Disney movie.
I don't
It
like
was
it.
so pointless.
I don't like the song.
It was just.
I don't like the "What Is a Baby" song.
What? It sounds like a poem. That's
I'm
kind
like,
of
can you even classify it as a song?
That's the problem with it. Yeah,
There is singing.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
It's just
such a
one
non-
note.
It's very
This
spoken.
is the note they're singing on the entire time.
the Disney musical is in a weird place right now. Cinderella was the last like kind of traditional musical. Alice in Wonderland is all like 30-second snippets.
Yeah.
Peter Pan, like,
It's a play, not a musical. That's how I classify Peter Pan. There's music in it, but
yeah, sure, yes.
All right.
it's not really like.
That there's like 2 songs and one song is like sung by a chorus.
Yeah.
Sung by a chorus. It's not really like in
Yeah,
world.
It's not in universe. What's the name for that music that's like playing in universe versus out of universe, and I can never remember it.
Diegetic versus non-diegetic.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that.
It's my favorite word. It's a great word if you
Diegetic?
want to sound smart.
No, I was like, because I always think of that thing, and I'm like, I can never remember the name, and I always sound dumb because I'm like, it's just when it's like in universe.
No, yeah.
So much happening. There's so much happening.
What?
There was some like singing, talking, panicking.
Why panicking?
Why
That
would you
didn't need to
panicking?
happen. Anywho,
Aunt Sarah.
Aunt Sarah comes to watch
Aunt
the
Sarah
fucking
and her
baby.
Perfectly normal cats.
Nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, it's just cats.
They're just Siamese
And
cats.
yeah,
They are horrible.
Answer is
awful.
immediately a bitch and is like, "Ew, get away from the baby, you dog."
Even
Yeah.
though they literally love the baby and the dog.
Yeah. And then we go downstairs, and who do we meet?
Siamese cats.
Oh my god. They are.
Their names are Sai and Am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They.
Who's a Mies? It's not a really good joke, Trevor. You should have shut up. Thanks, Trevor. Sorry. Anyways.
Yeah, they're just. It's just.
I mean, it's very. Yellow Peril was the trope at the time. It's like, oh my god, these. They're from the east and they're
ruin everything over here.
They're ruining our white middle class civility.
That's.
They just like cause problems.
It's like, it's there. It is undeniably there.
Well, because I remember when the movie first started, it gave us the racism warning.
Yeah.
And me and Jake were like, when? Like, what do you mean?
I forgot those cats were in the movie.
I thought it was the Italian guy because I was like, oh, this is not. Maybe it's just not an Italian.
Chat, can you be racist towards Italians?
I was like, I don't know if that's like a.
I
don't know if anyone puts a warning. Sorry, we misrepresented the Italians here.
But yeah, it was just once that part was coming up, I was like, oh,
It starts with like before you even see them. There's like gongs. It's like it's like
so,
real
and the way
bad.
their tails move.
It's just there's like the accents with like with and some other words that you're just like you could just say the word normally.
Yeah, the broken English is just the dumbest fucking shit.
It just takes like any joke they were trying to make about anything and just like I don't know, it's very untasteful, very
I'm sure it was very funny in the times. I'm sure this came out and everyone was like, that's funny.
They were wrong though.
They were wrong though. That's the
Yes.
thing.
The song goes through my head not infrequently.
I do that. No, I do that. Anytime
you did used to do that a lot.
I
Even
don't
recently,
know
but that
why. For some reason, that Disney song is stuck in my head, and I will be sitting in public and go, "We are Siamese, if you please," and have no idea why. I don't. Nothing prompts it. It just comes.
Oh.
So Lady gets muzzled after the
The cats destroy everything and blame her.
And then our the
Dramatic
fake
bug.
dad.
No.
It's so funny.
So Aunt is like, "We're gonna get you muzzled because you're a bad dog," and I mean, reasonable response to panic once you get muzzled.
Yeah, she's just like backing away and trying to run.
And does
And
runs
then-
right out of that shop.
Oh no.
I have muzzled a dog before. They tend to do that.
They don't really like it.
No, I mean, I wouldn't.
I know.
If a dog requires a muzzle, it is likely that they won't want the muzzle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know a
Yeah.
single dog that likes being muzzled. Actually, not a single one.
Have you ever
I'll
had
just
to muzzle your
casually
dog
take
before?
this face cage.
My old dog, yeah, Diablo had to been muzzled because
He was aggressive.
loves to bite anyone that's not
Family.
the people he was born with.
Yeah, then oh no, Lady gets attacked. Just kidding, Tramp's here.
Exactly
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
For some reason, these other dogs are like, "Woman,
I don't know
Get her.
why they're chasing Lady. Like it's so unprompted. She's ready, and then all of a sudden it's just these dogs.
The animal kingdom is another world.
It's a horny place.
It's. Thank you for saying.
I didn't want to think that they just wanted to fuck Lady. Okay.
I was gonna say they were like hungry and
I
I
was
wanted
like,
to
they
eat her
were,
or
like,
something for
just-
like meat, but that,
But that works too.
honestly, that's probably more valid.
Yeah, and then Tramp he wins, not a scratch. Fucking there
Oh.
was
Yeah,
There was
Oh,
fucking just
up
like
the
went up.
leg.
It was very weird and like out of.
it is very
It was like
serious.
fight.
It was very serious fighting, and then all of a sudden he bit up the arm, and I was like, "What?"
It had like a little musical like.
How do we
It's so
how do we
weird.
know the Tramp didn't like slip these guys at 20 to like?
Oh, to like.
Oh, he totally did. These were like his friends. Like, hey, can you like run after her? Like, if you ever see this one dog, chase her. And he didn't care the context when. They could have been out for a walk, like darling walking lady, and he would just like chase this dog so I can save her.
And he does.
He does. Without a scratch. He just beats these 3 dogs. They run off.
Yeah.
And Tramp's like humans. Am I right?
And he's like,
And then this is when
special
we-
occasion.
Go to the zoo guy with the whistle thing.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yes.
And then
Tramp
And
is
then-
very concerned about
That's the end of the night.
about getting the muzzle off. They muzzle their way into the zoo, and
Tramp whistles like a person.
lips.
I love this. You're gonna tell me the dog did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He did.
oh yeah, the poor guy just like in the zoo, like probably like he seemed like the guy was just like there to like.
he was just chilling. He
Chilling.
just likes animals.
He was
Yeah.
just wanting to look at the animals today. It was, I don't know, it's
And
Sunday,
Tramp was like
whatever day it is.
him. We have our entrance.
She almost gets her head bitten off by an alligator. That's a
Yeah.
great moment.
Because we're looking for animals with sharp teeth to bite the muzzle off.
Happy to oblige, and this alligator
he
just
just fucking.
full on like head off.
He said, "Gimme."
And
He
then
was just
we get
gonna
the
help.
beaver.
Who's basically the gopher from Winnie the Pooh.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Suck around, suck it.
I can't do a whistle.
I also cannot.
Can you speak
Whenever I hear that,
with
I
that?
just think of fucking the fucking
Can you speak
Herbert
with
from
that?
Family Guy. Herbert
Herbert the pervert.
with the whistle thing. Yeah, that's all I think about is Herbert the pervert.
Oh, the old guy.
Come here, Kate. I can't do that.
It's all I can think about.
I can't like do the whistle while you speak.
I can't even like.
I don't know. This is a solid bit of them just like conning this poor beaver.
I know.
Poor
He's so
man.
excited to keep the muzzle.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
like,
guess it works.
Is he conned though?
It totally. It
They
does.
definitely. They
He
went.
was
does
happy
nothing.
in the end.
But
Like
they definitely went in with the intention of conning him.
yes,
It just worked out for him.
it just
I guess.
ended up
Yeah.
being fine.
Even though he has to be yeeted down a hill every freaking time, it works out. It's
I
faster.
imagine Walt looking over the stills, being like, "Ah, yes, good free enterprise."
Why did you make him sound like that? Oh yes, good free enterprise.
That's my
It's
Daniel
Bizarro, Mickey.
Plainview impression.
Of Walt Disney.
But yeah, we're at the zoo. They get the thing off. The beaver's happy. Everyone's happy. And
And then
now
it's date night.
it's date night, baby.
Yeah.
We're going somewhere special.
Tony's. We're going to Tony's.
Tony's.
We're going to Tony's.
And that restaurant exists in Disney World.
Yes,
Mhm.
Why don't they call it Tony's though?
they
They
do.
do.
It's Tony's Town Square
Oh,
restaurant.
they said they called it what?
In Paris.
In
Disneyland
Paris,
Paris,
they have
has a
Bella
restaurant
Notte.
called Bella Notte.
Understood.
Which I'm sure that restaurant's probably better than I have not heard great things about Tony's Town Square restaurant.
I would imagine Paris makes food better than the United States, yes.
Mhm.
I don't actually. Does Disneyland Paris actually have like decent food quality? Do we know that?
I don't know. I've
Mm.
never been.
I don't-
Yeah, I haven't been. I
I've
couldn't
also
tell you.
never been.
I
I'm just asking if anyone's heard
I
stuff.
honestly haven't done a lot of research into the other parks.
I
I know a lot about the 2 parks here
yeah.
in the U.S. Not a lot about the other
I'm,
ones.
I'm getting more interested in the other ones
I
just
know
because like
tidbits
I
about the
tried to
others.
read about Disneyland Paris, but my phone auto translated the page into English, so there was some stuff that I was like,
What the
what?
fuck?
What? And,
Yeah, we get, and then he's like, Bones, yeah, sure thing. And then he's like, oh, you got a girl? You better keep her.
you got to keep this girl. Let's get you some sketty, man. We need to get you some hot sketty and meatballs.
Oh, and then the
Spurdy
perfect
and
line where he's like,
marbles.
yeah, he says he wants extra meatballs. The dog doesn't talk. He talks to me!
Me to
Oh.
any animal where it's not talking to you. I'm like, he's talking to me. I know what he's saying. I know what he wants.
Ah, so good. And then they give these 2 dogs just
I
a
want
plate
to
of
be
pasta.
in this
Yeah, I mean,
entire
this-
community.
Even like with like a table.
Yeah, and they get like breadsticks and stuff.
Tablecloth. Like it's like Full
It's
dinner
so
service.
fancy for no reason.
This is, I mean, it is so fancy for no reason, and that's why this is it's so iconic.
This town just treats dogs like gods.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone is just nice to a dog. Like, everyone knows dogs, everyone loves dogs, and they're just like,
Well, not Aunt Sarah.
Or the dog
Oh.
pound that's euthanizing them.
yeah, but even like the dog people were like, you're too nice to be here.
Well, that had some subtle class stuff going on.
Yeah.
I guess yeah, but
It was literally, you're too pretty to be here.
right.
Yeah, what the fuck else happened?
And, I mean, they kiss,
they
kiss.
have
with the
the moment.
spaghetti, we have that scene.
And then they go out, and it's like really pretty backgrounds. And then
Oh,
Like Sex Hill.
And then
Yeah.
we get to Sex Hill.
they go to Lover's Hill, and they bone.
They definitely
The dog gets a bone.
Uh-huh.
one
Uh-huh.
of them's getting a bone.
Yeah.
Then
And
they
then
wake
the
up the
next
next morning,
morning.
and she's like, "Oh fuck, it's the next morning."
And he's like, just like
Oh,
run away with
shit,
me.
I didn't set my alarm. Do you have my pants? Where's my bra?
Walk of shame. Walk of shame.
Yeah, he's just totally like, okay, listen, I know you like Rhea, but just run away with me. And
Yeah.
he's like, the baby, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, okay, fine. I guess you go home then.
And then she gets
Napped.
stolen.
Napped by the dog napper.
Well, yeah, because for some reason Tramp's like, we're gonna have a bonding moment. Let's go
Chase
run at
the
chickens.
fucking yeah.
And guy who owns chicken was like, no, and shoots at them. And then that's when she's caught because she obviously can't run
Right.
away as good as this tramp who's been doing it forever
Yeah.
can. So she gets pounded.
Oh,
Whoa.
Well, so I guess that already happened. She gets locked up.
Oh, that was smooth. That was a smooth one, Jeffrey. You keep that full commit.
I mean, speaking of ethnic stereotypes, now we're
Oh yeah, they forgot.
We are in the pound.
They needed to be inclusive, so they
The
needed to get the rest of
Chihuahua.
them.
We got the Chihuahua, who
The Chihuahua
guess
named
what
Pedro.
ethnicity the Chihuahua
and his
is?
sister
Chiquita Rivera.
Something
Samara.
like
Rosita
that.
Chihuahua.
A bunch of generic Hispanic names that they threw together.
One of them literally being Chihuahua.
Yes.
One of the dogs is Russian.
We got the big Russian dog, and then we got the German little guy.
the German Dachshund.
Who was the
The lady.
the bulldog?
Oh, the bulldog, Smee.
Who was Smee? What was that supposed to be?
He was like Cockney. I don't know.
Okay.
Just like
Rosita, Chiquita, Juanita, Chihuahua.
Great, thanks. Thanks.
Juanita. That's a crazy one for some reason.
All
You
of
just
it.
like throw in there.
all of them. All of it not needed. Why not just like Rosita? That works. Rosita Chihuahua is a perfectly fine.
But this is where we get "He's a Tramp," sung by Peggy Lee.
Fantastic
Yeah.
song.
Peggy Lee, who would go on to sue for royalties. Peggy Lee.
I
And
forgot her
was
name
awarded like $3 million.
And changed how like home video copyright works, essentially, like established that precedent.
You know, it just like hit me now that the dog's name is Peg. And
Ah.
her name's Peggy Lee. I don't know why that just clicked now.
I mean, she's the gazelle of her time.
It's like, oh, she can sing and everyone knows her. Get her in here.
Chiquita.
Just remember, sorry, I'm just thinking of Peggy singing.
Try everything.
Thank you, perfect. Anyways, we get that song. Which, how do you guys feel about that song?
I like it.
I think
like
I think it's a very solid song.
Okay, I'm glad we're all mad about it. We're all like, it's okay.
like-
Like, it's a good song.
I mean, like, it is the best
It's-
song in Lady and the
That's a
Tramp.
good- It's
It
better than
serves
that
its
other
purpose.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
No, that's not true. Bellanotte. Well, Bellanotte is a very good sequence. He's a Tramp is probably the best song. There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
I do agree with that. Yes.
And yeah, they're like, yeah, this Tramp guy.
He-
You don't know him, but like, let me tell you about him. He fucks all the bitches. Does not give a shit.
Including Rosita Chiquita.
Yeah, including this
That's
maybe.
why she gets brought up.
And then
He fucks everyone, and then he like
lady's like, oh yeah, I'm sure
self-destructs
about
the
that.
relationship. And
And then
You know,
yeah, she
like
gets
a
out.
tramp.
They meet again. She's attached to a doghouse this time.
Oh yeah, and she's like really mad at him for letting, quote unquote, letting her get kidnapped.
I mean, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed too, honestly.
Freaking Jock and Trusty are there, and they're like, "We'll beat this guy up."
Yeah.
Or we'll marry you.
They're there to marry her.
Oh yeah.
First of all.
Well, because she's disreputable now, because she went to jail. So now they need to like offer her a home. Since she's not gonna get married now.
High society bullshit.
But
it is so
it's gross. I don't know.
It's very, and of course in Disney fashion, it's like.
This is
he gets civilized. He joins the upper crust.
He joins the upper crust.
And yeah, he comes by and he's like, "I'm sorry," then leaves, and then Rat.
Yeah, she doesn't accept his apology because she's like, "No, I got kidnapped, you motherfucker. Like, I'm not gonna. You be on your own." And then once he leaves, a rat decides to
The rat decides.
Goes into the baby's bedroom.
He's like, "I'm gonna make my attack again, lady.
Yeah.
Can't
Gonna
do
spread
shit."
my bubonic plague.
Yeah.
Because she's attached to the doghouse.
And Tramp hears her barking and is like, "Yo, bitch, what's
What's the stitch?
what's the stitch, bitch?"
What's the stitch, bitch? Is my favorite sentence.
And decides, "I'm gonna get this fucking rat for you. Where do I go?" And she's like, "Back door." And he's like, "Gotcha." Runs up there.
Really cool scene of the lightning where it's like you can't see Tramp and then the lightning hits and you see him.
Yeah.
And then he goes in front. It was a cool.
It's the Bambi scene for me.
There are
It's
some.
like, just, like,
there are
fight.
very striking moments, even though the actual I think the actual animation tends to be pretty, again, like upper mid level, but
Yes.
it does have its very strong moments.
And then he knocks the goddamn crib over.
Yeah.
Which, like, valid, I guess, because, like, he doesn't know that, like, he knows there's a baby in there and there's a rat. He doesn't know where the baby is, what room, when.
He's
but,
also
like,
just like mid chasing rat and is not
But
paying
okay,
attention.
but like, okay, he gets the rat. He objectively failed in his job of protecting the baby.
yeah. Like,
And the rat fucks him up.
Well,
Oh.
and then eventually
Somehow?
Lady tugs hard enough on the doghouse that she disconnects herself from it.
yeah,
And
and
so
joins
she
him.
runs inside.
she checks on the baby
Yeah.
first. Like, she sees the baby crib is knocked over, and her first thing is the
Baby.
baby okay?
Yeah.
Aunt Sarah, that fucking bitch, comes on.
Yeah, we get Tramp that somehow got fucked up by this small ass rat. Again, 3 dogs, not a scratch. Rat, he's fine.
No, he's not.
Sorry, yeah, no, he's not fine.
And then yeah, Aunt Sarah's like, "Oh my god, you guys want to eat the baby?
You guys
Call the pound."
yeah, these dogs are actively trying to eat the baby. So she calls the pound on the big dog, Tramp.
Mr. Tramp.
And then Jim Deere and Darling come home as the pound is in their driveway.
Yep. And the pound's like, "It's just a stray dog. Wanted to eat
Oh,
the baby.
yeah,
It's okay."
they're-
And they're
they're-
like, "Holy shit, my baby!"
Again, valid reaction, I guess, when
Yeah.
you're told, yeah, this
He's
dog
just like,
trying to
"Yeah,
eat the
just
baby."
a stray was trying to eat the baby."
It's fine.
Got him.
Got him. His baby's fine. But they go up there, realize the baby's fine, and then they realize the dog was in there
Rat.
for the rat.
Yeah,
And
because
then all-
Lady gets their attention and is like, "Let's go look at the rat."
I
And they're like,
fucking
"We have to
love
follow the dog."
Jim and Darling, they're like, "Shut the fuck up, Aunt Sarah. The dog's trying
Yeah.
to tell us something."
Yeah, they're like, the dog's trying to be rabid. And they're like, no, the dog's trying to tell us something. What is it, lady?
And just lady but tells you it does the thing.
Shows
There's
rat.
rat. We get fucking Tramp back, and all is good.
I don't know.
No,
dude,
this is
Trusty.
when we run after
Oh,
the carriage
I
and
forgot.
fucking Trusty gets
Dies.
run over.
Yeah, Trusty was like, we need to go stop this carriage because we misjudged this man. And, dog. And yeah, we get his sense of smell, I guess, is there.
Oh yeah, because
Well-
Trusty's a bloodhound that's supposed to have lost his sense of smell.
I don't know what the he lost his smell part is and then he has it back. Is it just because the heat of
It's-
the moment?
But I
Just
takes
some-
think
it?
I think
probably Jock was just assuming.
Understood.
Yeah.
And-
He's probably just got
Jock's
old
just an
and was
asshole,
wrong
and
a
he's
lot.
like, "Oh, you can't even smell anymore."
you can't even smell.
But
Which,
then-
to that comment, all that Trusty does is like, "Fuck you," and then does it anyways.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
He humps and then
He humps.
And then, so they
Humps.
catch up to the truck, and then the last we see of them is Trusty under the wheel, and then Jock
Like,
crying.
crying.
And then we skip ahead a little while, and they're fine.
Yeah, we see all the puppies and like everything, and they're like, "Oh my god, you have a visitor for Christmas time. Who could it be? Jock and Trusty." Why don't you come into the parlor and let me get you some refreshments, dogs?
They apparently changed Trusty's fate at like the last minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they like focus group it or something?
I think so.
It did seem like that.
It seemed like he was supposed to be dead.
Which I'm totally okay with that, as long as it's like, it was a weird cut, and it just seems like that cut was because they're like, well, we shouldn't kill him. Like,
yeah.
it seems like they had a total ending that was
Yeah,
just
they didn't want to deal with it.
yeah, they didn't want to deal with the outrage of killing this dog, so they were like, he's fine.
Which, I mean, like, I get not wanting to kill a dog, but, like, that philosophy really fucks over future Disney movies, aka Fox and the Hound, where that movie really needs to kill a dog in order to be effective, and it just can't.
It's that movie would. I don't want the dog to die, but if the dog would have died, I would have cried.
It would be
10 times
it
more
would
than
be a
that.
masterpiece if
Yeah.
the dog died.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to get that movie either.
That'd be an interesting one.
I'm so excited. I love Fox. I know. I've seen that movie way too many times.
I've never seen it before.
Oh, it's so good, Rachel. Yeah, I think you'll love that one. Well,
It's had to grow on me over time. I remember really not liking it the first time I watched it, but I was also like,
I loved it with the first.
had
But you
no
also
dopamine in my
watched
brain.
Fantasia, so
Yeah, I guess so.
I went, I don't want to watch Fantasia, that's boring.
Let me watch Fox.
Let me watch Fox and the Hound. And you went, I don't want to watch the Hound, that's boring. Let me watch Fantasia.
Two different people.
I came to Fox and the Hound super late though. Is the thing.
I
Like,
came to Fantasia super late, so.
Okay, fair enough.
You guys are just opposites in the Disney viewings, I guess.
Unfortunately, mine threw me in the 40s, and yours threw you in the 90s.
Yes. But yeah,
that's basically the end.
That's the movie.
Tramp gets a collar, and they have puppies.
They have puppies.
3 girls and a
Oh,
guy.
wow.
And
one
there
boy.
will be a sequel in about 50 years.
I like
There
the
will
sequel.
be.
And a remake.
And a remake.
Oh yeah,
in
with
about 70.
fucking.
I
Isn't
started
it?
it, got bored, and didn't finish it.
Doesn't like
But I'm gonna watch
It's
it now.
ugly. The poster looked ugly.
doesn't
It's
Janelle Monáe
weird.
play either lady or someone supporting?
I don't know. I watched 10 minutes of
Yes.
it before I was like,
I think she plays Lady.
It just they are going to remake every single one of them
Everyone.
just to have the
What was
content.
what was the one quote like he had in his thing that people posted about, like he wanted everything reimagined for the years to come?
Who?
What?
Walt. I don't know. There's something
Lady
I read,
is voiced
but
by Tessa Thompson.
Oh.
Tessa Thompson.
Janelle Monáe is the Pekingese that sings.
Oh, she's the peg. She's the gazelle.
Understood. That makes sense.
And Benedict Wong plays the bulldog.
I love Wong so much.
Yeah, I don't know. Kingdom Hearts Corner. Okay. So it's very minor, but it is significant because it's in the first game, and that means you see it throughout the series. There's a little statue, a fountain of Lady and the Tramp.
I found it when we played it. I
You
was
definitely found
holy
it.
shit! I found it.
Yeah. It's in the 3rd district in Traverse Town, which is like the hub world in the first game. And yeah, it's just kind of in the corner, but
Cute.
it's cute, and it's just kind of nice to see it acknowledged in
Yeah.
the series.
At
in the
least
same
it's
way
there,
that
yeah.
in the same way that it's like, they didn't have to have a mini game with like the Dalmatians
Yeah.
and give them a little house, but they did that. I miss that in the first Kingdom Hearts, and I like that we're kind of getting back to that now.
Disney park stuff, right? Is that next?
I mean, yeah. There's the
in
restaurant and
the restaurant, and I don't know if it's Disneyland or World or both, but there's a little concrete thing that's got the fucking JM and whatever with the paws.
Oh, really?
It's right under stroller parking.
I love that.
It's literally
so
like stroller
much.
parking. It just sits right on top of it. So if there's a shit ton of people, you won't see it because
that's so sad and so cool.
Just look up.
Yeah.
I was not on my phone.
I know. I saw that. Reaching for anything to like prove. Like, no, I swear, it's not mine.
It exists.
No, that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. I was gonna
It's
say.
right in Main Street, I think, right in front of.
I can imagine that's in the Disneyland one. I don't think they would put that in the Disney World one.
I want to say it's in front of the Mary Poppins place.
It makes sense if it's Disney World in front of the restaurant.
But I
there.
think that one makes more sense in my brain. But it might be in front
Oh,
of
yeah, Disney
the
World in front of-
Mary Poppins Jolly Holiday. Fucking whatever that restaurant food places. I know it's really cute, and I've only like actually looked at it once in park because I don't care about it otherwise.
That is a cute fact to like know that it's just kind of there. And
It is just outside Tony's Town Square restaurant.
And it's just it sits under strollers.
It doesn't have the initials, weirdly.
Does
Is it just the pause?
It's just the pause.
Oh.
That's very interesting.
I feel like they should. I mean, I guess the letters are just kind of, again, I think random humans came by and did that, and they were
It's
just
one of
like,
those things where, like, they either didn't want to be that slavishly accurate or just, like, it would be a distracting detail to include it.
So
some people
just
would
the
go way
pause.
too into it
Yeah,
about like
really.
where's Jim and
E, whatever the other thing was.
P. I don't know what the letters were.
Yeah.
But yeah, that exists in the parks. I don't know any other Lady in the Tramp things.
What ride do they have a lady on the train?
I mean, it's one of those things, like, the closest thing they can be is Main Street, and Main Street doesn't do rides.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those things. It makes sense that it's, again, a restaurant and like they have that there.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
it's simple stuff for a simple movie that's just kind of etched its way into, like,
history.
yeah. I don't know. It's iconic. Rach, you mentioned it was in the National Film Registry,
Mhm.
like, super recently.
Yeah, it got
Um,
added last year.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Do you guys know how the, like, Platinum Edition, Diamond Edition animated movies were selected? They were literally just the highest sellers of the Gold Collection, which was their VHS line. And
Oh.
it was just like the 13 highest sellers. And so, like, Lady and the Tramp was one of them. And I don't know. It's interesting that this, just because of that, is kind of, I feel, more cemented in our brains because of that, as like
Yeah.
higher tier Disney, top shelf Disney,
Top
literally.
shelf Disney.
That's what it is. It's literally like, it's in the vault. Yeah, it's so good you can't see it because it's in the vault.
Before Disney Plus, like the vault, like was
The
such.
vault fucking mattered.
It was like
That
genuine,
was
like
serious business.
it was serious when they took something out of the vault and put it onto DVD for the like. It was like
Yeah.
holy shit, they're taking it out of the vault, guys.
because they would take them back when they put it
yeah,
back in.
they would. You would not be able to get Cinderella like anywhere except for when they were like, taste it.
It was real. It was
can look
really
at it.
good at creating that fucking artificial, like,
Demand.
Yeah,
for these
yeah.
movies.
which that I mean, tying back, I don't know how. I don't know if a Lady and the Tramp is going to stay at that level with Disney Plus being kind of like,
Probably not.
you have the Walt Disney Animation Studios collection where it just completely levels the playing field and it's just all sorted by decade.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, maybe a kid maybe their parent tells the kid, like, the Lady and the Tramp,
Yeah.
tells them about it, or they have some piece of art or something, but, like, otherwise I don't think a kid naturally comes across this.
That's the thing. It's like, I mean, I guess it could come up with recommended and stuff,
Like,
but like,
Yeah.
Recommend it, or if they're like specifically looking through the classics.
Yeah.
And are like, dog movie.
but yeah, that's the thing about Disney Plus has always confused me is like with that stuff. It's like they have all the newer stuff that these new generation kids are gonna watch, but like, how do they just stumble across like these older ones?
Yeah.
Because they don't like advertise them on the main
No.
page. Like the older ones are there, you just don't get them. Like you don't see them anywhere unless you're looking for them, or like sometimes I'll pop up in the recommended. But
Everything is fully democratized and Disney is now a glurge of content.
a glurge. I like that word. Glurge.
Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Ratings.
Ratings? Oh shit!
I was like, it was
We're
like,
not done yet.
We are not
I was
done
like, we
yet.
just finished.
Guys, how many
Meatballs?
Italians.
No, that's
I don't
you
like that
straight off the path. Rachel was there. You stepped off.
Oh, that's my position here.
I guess.
I'm supposed to step off the path.
how many pigeons?
How many strays out of 5?
How many
Licenses?
Spaghetti noodles. Puppies.
No, because they only had 4 puppies.
That's true.
How many pizza pies?
When the moon hits your eyes, like hot pizza pie. I don't know.
That's a more.
What about The Lady is a Tramp?
The Frank Sinatra song?
Yeah. It's the same words.
let's do meatballs. I feel like that works.
Yeah, I'll take meatballs.
There's like not really any like
Spaghetti kisses. How many spaghetti kisses?
how many spaghetti kisses?
I love that.
How many
No, let's do that.
Spaghetti kisses?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're doing spaghetti kisses.
Spaghetti kisses.
That like really ties it to the movie.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
It's a solid 4 out of 5 spaghetti kisses. I don't know. It's a very basic, conventional story, but it's very well made, and I like the dog perspective, and I'm really uncomfortable with the stereotypes present throughout.
I'm also giving it a 4 out of spaghetti kisses out of 5 spaghetti kisses. Because I don't know. I like it a lot. This has like a very nostalgic place in my brain. Just
Yeah.
like, and I love Lady and Tramp just like as characters. They're just, especially Tramp, he's just, hear me out.
He is.
Tramp is a wonderful character.
I don't
throughout
know.
this.
I love him. He's not like, he is kind of like,
He's very witty.
he's very witty. But he's also super like kind, and he's not just this like witty, dumb character. He's got like more to him. I don't know. I like it.
My answer was also 4 out of 5 spaghetti kisses.
Wow.
Exact reason as you, Xander, where it's like I could always watch this movie to like, if I'm in the mood for a romance, this is
I can
one
count on this.
Yeah, I could count on this to like. I almost said get my rocks off, but
It's a dog movie.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
dog movie, Trevor.
yeah. So we're not going to use that language, Trevor. We're going to use
They
different.
shouldn't
Give
be
a dog a
doing
bone, am I
getting
right?
anything off of anybody.
Oh, we
Rach,
should.
help.
We should.
What's your rating, Rach?
I know I am the one who has to speak a lot.
I'm gonna turn your mic off.
Yeah, I should. 4 out of 5. No other reasons. That's why. Go ahead, Rachel.
Yeah, I was gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 spaghetti kisses.
Yeah, fair.
What
I
happened to
don't
the
know.
half one? Did someone bite too soon?
I just
Yeah.
they wiped all the sauce off first.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
First,
they were on the 4th one, and then they just like sucked too hard and took the whole.
took the whole noodle.
They bit it in half.
Anywho, reasoning.
I don't know. I mean, it's just another one of those like, I remember its existence, but I don't have much of a nostalgia element attached to it. So for what it is, 3.5.
Fair enough.
The
Yeah,
puppies are adorable.
I agree.
So cute. Well, Trevor thinks they're a little more than adorable.
No,
but-
I don't even want to talk about it. I almost said the wrong word, and I just thought it would be funny if I told everyone what I was about to say, and then you guys just took it and ran.
Typo in the group chat. Typo in the group chat.
I was trying to think of
Monetary.
words, and for some reason those words were like in my brain. I was like, it's like, don't say that.
Why did you just Lion King his forehead?
I needed to prove that that's what the words were
He
doing.
needed to show me that it was the brain, as if I didn't know where that resides.
He had to make sure that you knew that he meant your brain and not the head of his dick.
Yes, this head, not this head.
Duh.
Guys, thank you so much for listening.
I'm
Really, we
so
appreciate
sorry.
every single one of you.
I'm
And
sorry.
tune in next time for what
I'm sorry.
what is it? Who's it gonna be?
I
Who's it
would
gonna
like to
be?
apologize.
Oh, Trevor, just stop.
This is my.
Trevor,
I need a
just-
ukulele real quick. I need to make an apology
The only
video.
thing I've ever groomed is my 2 Persian cats.
So 2 Siamese cats.
No, I didn't. I swear.
Crazy sentence. The only thing I groomed are my 2 racist cats.
My two.
And that's why you shouldn't give to charity.
Next up, we are watching a movie called The Littlest Outlaw, which I
Aw.
How
believe
little
was
is
made
he?
in Mexico.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Uh-oh.
Is that something you find funny, Mr. Mulaney?
Editing Trevor, take us out. Bye, guys.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This episode was hosted by Xander, Jake, Trevor, and Rachel. Edited by Trevor and mastered by Rachel. We also want to give a huge shout out to our composer and artist who made our theme song and cover photo. Their links are going to be down in the description. Our links are going to be down there too. Lastly, we want to give a huge heartfelt thanks to our patrons. Sophie being the OG. And remember, this podcast would not be possible without all your support. From all of us inside the vault, thanks again for listening, and see you real soon.